hello pre-prep. It's time for my very last story to you. But before I read that, I want to say a few words if that's okay. The first thing that we need to do is I want all of you to look to whoever is listening to this story with you. It might be mummy, it might be daddy, it might be a granny or a nanny or anybody at all. I want you to look at them, give them a big hug and say a massive, massive thank you, because they have been helping you so very much this term through what has been a very, very unusual summer term. I said to one parent the other day, it's not one that I'm very keen to repeat, and I shall be quite pleased to see the end of it. But I hope you parents like me will be able to reflect sometime, perhaps not too distant future, and think that maybe it wasn't so bad to spend a little bit more time with our families as well. I know I've spent some more time with my family, and I'm sure you've loved being with your children as well. A little snapshot into my crazy life of teaching reception. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's been very hard for me to hand over to you guys, and I have to say, I know I've said it before, but I've got actually a prop ready for it this time. My hat, and if you're going to wear a hat, wear a good one. My hat definitely comes off to all of you. I think you've been absolutely amazing. Your children are a credit to you all. You should be so proud of them. They've been fantastic through this. I've loved having most of them back for the last 2 weeks. It's been an absolute joy. They've coped superbly well, and throughout it all, I'm sure you'll agree, I'm sure you've, like me, had some high times and some low times, and some taxing times and some sleepy times. But there you go. What doesn't break you makes you stronger. That's what I always say. So hopefully we will be able to see you all back in September and be able to wave goodbye to this rather bizarre term. But honestly, it's been a fabulous journey. I've been so pleased to see all of the wonderful things that you've done with your children. To you guys, to my lovely class, you have been fantastic. I've loved getting all your films and your photos. Forever, I will look at some of you and think, hello, Mrs. Campbell. Soon, then quickly parroted by younger brothers as well, so you know who you are. And also those wonderful things, I've seen some beautiful cakes baked, which has been really quite nasty, sending all those lovely photos of cakes, I have to say. I've seen some wonderful vegetables being grown, some lovely things that have been grown and then used in the kitchen. Super cake this week I spotted. And it's just been an absolute joy. Some obstacle courses that you've created, and the fun that you've been having at home as well. You've done some arts and you've done some crafts. You've done some wonderful, wonderful things. So I hope that you've had fun along the way doing it as well, and have enjoyed learning along with your children. And so yes, I hope it's been a good journey for you. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I did pop along to the Year 6 assembly today, and they started taking bets on how long it would take Mrs. Campbell to start crying. So as you progress pre-prep through your school career, you will spot Mrs. Campbell at times like this will often shed a tear. She does get rather emotional. I think it's my age. Anyway, never mind. But massive well done to all of you. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful summer holiday and get to go and do some super things too. Sadly, the sun hasn't really come out this week. It would have been lovely to be able to just enjoy some time outside in your gardens, and for us at school as well. But we had fun today. The ice cream van did pop along, which was a joy today as well. So we got very excited about that this afternoon. So I've got a story to read to you, and it's a story all about a little girl called Rosie, and Rosie goes on holiday, and I thought it'd be quite fun to share it with you. It's a story that actually in the front cover says Rebecca Campbell. It was Rebecca's book, so that, for any of you who know how old Rebecca is, will age my storybook for you. So let's see what happens to Rosie, shall we? I don't want to go on holiday, said a very small girl in a very loud voice. It was Rosie. I like my own room, I like my own garden, and I like all of you, she shouted to the cats next door. But the following day, Dad packed the car. There wasn't room for everything. Rosie could not take all of her cuddly toys. Just one, said Dad. Her bike wouldn't fit, or her duvet, or the cats next door. No, said Dad, we'll have to leave those behind. So Rosie hugged the cats. I will be back. She sat in the car, wearing her holiday hat, holding her holiday bag, and wished she wasn't going. When they got to their holiday home, Rosie saw the sea at the bottom of the garden. At first, she pretended not to look, but then she saw big blue waves and boats. Can you see? Right next door, there was a field of cows with spots. They chewed and smiled at Rosie. Hello, she said. Then Rosie followed Mum and Dad inside. She ran upstairs and downstairs. My holiday bed is bouncier than my home bed, she shouted. The next day they all went down to the beach. Rosie filled her bucket with shells and pebbles. I might like it here, she told baby Toby. There we go, look, she's got a little baby brother too. Rosie loved the sea. Every day she splished and splashed and sploshed. On the last night of the holiday, Rosie stayed up late. She watched hundreds of twinkling sparkling stars in the night sky. I do like it here, she whispered to her mum and dad. In the morning, Rosie visited all her favourite places. I want to take the cows home, she said. They like it here, said Dad. This is where they belong. The cows blinked their eyes and said their goodbyes. I want to take the sand and the sea home, Rosie sniffed. Look, said Mum. Here are your shells and pebbles to take back, and I've made you this necklace. Now we have to pack and get ready to go home. But I don't want to go home, cried Rosie. Oh dear. But as soon as they got back home to her very own home, Rosie raced into the garden. You forgot your shells, called Dad, but Rosie couldn't wait. Hello, she shouted to her garden, with her paddling pool, the stars in the sky. She hugged her big crocodile and jumped onto her bike. It's me, she yelled to the cats over the fence. I'm back. There she is. I do hope you like that story. I've been reading that story for a long, long time now. And it's a real firm favourite. It always was at home. So I hope you get to have a lovely holiday. Now, you've got one activity from me today, and which you can choose to do. Now, you've got some different ways you can do it. I think I've posted some suitcases and some things that you can stick into it if you want to, or if you're allowed you can choose a bag and maybe pack it and pretend you're off on holiday, or maybe you'll decide to pack a picnic and do that instead. If it's raining, maybe it'll be an indoor picnic. So have some fun doing that and have a wonderful summer. Thank you once again, mums and dads. Thank you all of you children in pre-prep. You've been an absolute pleasure. It's been my privilege to teach you this year. I've loved every minute of it. It's been a bit different and I wish we'd spent more time together in the classroom, but you have been absolutely fantastic. I'm proud of you all. Well done, pre-prep, and I shall see you in September. Take care. Bye-bye.